to start.
everyone. Once again, we are back with another episode. Sinead's been talking. So it is the international break currently. We have just defeated Rayo Vallecano and Atleti drew 3-3. Barcelona drew 3-3, but I guess they're currently not a rival unless they come back somehow, which I don't think they will. I personally don't even think they're gonna make it to top four.
Yo, the prince
But
is back, man. Prince is
the
back.
Qatari prince is back in Barcelona. The only guy who runs his mouth more than PK. Xavi is back
Oh,
as a coach of Barcelona, and it has been coming for a couple of years now. We'll get to that after we will talk about Rayo. 2-1 victory. Should have been like 3-0, 4-0, but
yeah.
Benzema turned back into 17-18 La Liga Benzema. You know, at first I was like, he's tired. He played every game, but then it hit me that he was out for the last game. So it's not
Mm.
like I don't know what happened to
He
Benzema.
was
He was just
rusty. He was
yeah,
rusty.
he was not in the best of shapes for that game. Vinicius was well Vinicius. One of my uh, or probably my favorite player, Tony Kroos, scored a scored another goal. And I want to note that the assist was provided rather well by Asensio, who had a pretty good game. And if you ask me, he's this season he's been much more active as going forward than the whole last season.
Mm.
And like excluding Mallorca because people seem to just go into him because of the Mallorca game. But I think
Yeah.
like whole season except for one game, uh,
Mm.
he's been rather decent. He's not been like world class or anything, but he's been contributing pretty well going forward. And he has more work rate in defense than Hazard, which explains why he started above Hazard, and why Lucas Vasquez starts above Hazard, and this and that.
My
Yeah.
nan can stand above Hazard. As a matter of fact, let's not get into that.
I mean,
When for me, yeah, go on, go on.
he's
Yeah.
literally hazardous. I'm sorry to make a dad joke here, but that's what he
No
has
pun
come to. Like before that, people said that he was hazardous because he was dangerous. Now he's hazardous because he's danger to himself.
like an hour ago before sat down to record, like I saw on Madrid Extra, was it that Belgium's physio specialist is training, I mean, yeah, is doing drills with Hazard in Madrid. Like there's a specific special solution to this guy's fitness. And man, the amount of hope some people have on this guy is mad.
Special
It's
spe-
diabolical.
special training. Look, man, if Jesus Christ came down here, he wouldn't be able to help Hazard, okay? He's done. He's done for. There's no coming back. Maybe like people said after one season, this he had a bad season. Then they said he had two bad seasons. And then Ancelotti came in and he's not taking any shit from him. He's been
Yeah.
playing less than Lucas Vasquez. And wait, he's been playing less than Lucas Vasquez when Carvajal was available.
The only thing he can look at, like Hazard might be sitting on the bench, and the only guy he can look around and be happy, like that. The only person Hazard can look at and say, okay, thank God that's on me. It's Jovic. Jovic is like is a non-factor for like 2 3 years of his whole period over here. But Hazard, man, Hazard, one of the touted to be one of the best players in the world, has come down to this. Like, imagine, man, like couple of cheeseburgers does to your career. Anyway,
Anyways, let's talk about our defense first of all. I mean,
I
Courtois,
want to talk about the goals first. The goals first before we go into the defense. What
sure.
did you think about Cruz's goal, man? Like how he stepped up again
Oh,
when
Kroos. There's a
like
reason
Actually,
the first shirt I bought was Kroos's. And
actually, I think the build up to the goal was much more interesting. Actually,
I'll be back
yeah,
in a
it was a
second.
mm,
very good finish actually, but the build up was actually very nice. And actually, as Nando pointed out earlier, like with Asensio's movement, the coming in and yeah, just let's say taking. Actually, that's the thing. Actually, like Asensio has not been able to, successfully, take his people on and beat them successfully. So it was actually
mm.
nice to see. Like this season, he's much more confident and much willing to attempt to do these things. Which is actually the thing with Hazard. Like Hazard is not willing to take anyone on. Literally, he just sees someone, he turns back and give the ball back.
The
So
only
again,
guy he takes on is the kebab guy, the local donor he goes to,
yeah,
well.
man, it was just it was something else, man. I don't know.
But Cruz's finish, he could have had another goal, right? He had a brilliant another chance which was
Yeah,
saved, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. Yeah, I could have had
So
another goal actually.
he was active all throughout the game. This is what I wanted from Cruz. Like I used to moan about in the group chat, which everybody ignores because I'm constantly moaning, is our midfield needs to be more active. And you saw we reaped the rewards when our midfield was, like on the front foot instead of
Yeah.
being reactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
So I like that a lot.
I was watching the game and I was just thinking, during our last episode, we talked about like, how Kamavinga always gets booked, and by this he always like becomes like the first or the second substitution because of his aggressive nature. But actually, I
Hmm.
don't know what happened. Maybe he watched our episode and just decided, okay, today I'm not getting booked or something like that. Well, actually, I'm trying to relate it to the point you talked about. Like our midfield was like a bit okay. We consider chances and all that, like it shouldn't have been,
Yeah.
but like our midfield was like a bit more, how can I say it, like a bit more active, I would say. Like really, you could actually feel the presence, of a younger guy in there and with his energy and all that. Anyways, like what I was actually gonna point about the second goal, like the ball from David Alaba, man, what a
Oh
pass!
my God. Pure FIFA,
I
man.
was
FIFA.
literally praying, man. Let Mendy just take some lessons from. Let him take a master chef course from, a master class, sorry, from David Alaba, man, on how to give crossings, for God's sake.
That was on
Really,
a plate. That wasn't even on a
really.
plate. That's almost like, you sit down someone, you tie the apron around his neck, and then
Yeah,
you push the fork into the food, lift it up, and hand it into his, mouth. That's how glorious the ball
that
was. It was
that
just
pass
peak.
was
Really
pass
good,
was
really good.
was very good, really. The pass was really
Um,
good. And
so
then the almost goal from Vini Jr. Holy God.
Oh,
Holy
there was
God.
a back heel, right? Back heel to Mendy, I
and
think.
backheel to Mendy, backheel to Benzema, and Benzema with his
Benzema.
signature like shot to the
Yeah,
right
he
side.
does that a lot, right?
Yeah,
He
he
does
does
that a
that a
lot. That's
lot. And but
mm,
I've never been so disappointed by his shot not going in than that, because that was insane. Even it was even posted on the
yeah.
soccer subreddit
Hmm.
as a great play. And
Yeah.
many talk about the agenda that
Hmm.
our soccer has against Real Madrid, and many
Hmm.
say that the mods there hate us and stuff. And
Yeah.
I've kind of noticed some stuff myself, and for it to be there, it was rather surprising. It means that that was actually a great play. But man,
Yeah.
only if Benzema finished that.
I don't think he was composed at all for that finish. He should have just side footed it into the far corner. It would have been like easy
Yeah.
as you like, but well,
Um.
Actually,
You,
guys, I was talking about another Vinicius move, not the back heels.
oh, okay.
The one from the he. Okay, there was the one he took like I think not from the halfway line, but like just in the in Elche's half, and then he was just going and like he went past a couple of defenders, and then he like side footed to the other side of the post, and then the defender just
Oh
kicked it out
It was
no.
over the
towards the
guy.
end of the game, right? End of the game, towards the
Yeah,
end. I
exactly,
remember.
exactly.
I remember.
That
He should
Like I
have
was
finished
like,
that.
I was like, if I were a defender, I would not even stop that man. Like already, oh shit, man, that
Nah,
move was
like
yeah.
that
he
move
was
was
tired. I think he was
That
tired,
was
right? He was
yeah,
another
really,
moment from him that was better than the Atalanta moment.
yeah.
oh, for sure,
I
for sure.
this goal, if that had went in, that would have been nominated for the Puskas Award.
Really, for sure. It was such a good movement.
And
Really,
they
really, really.
then in the end, like at the end of the season, he would be nominated, and then they would give it to Salah's just another normal goal.
Yeah. EPL bias, bro. Premier League bias is real. It's real.
Hmm
Yeah, really.
So, Farouk, you were talking about Kamavinga, right? And
Yeah,
he wasn't as aggressive, and that was good. That was nice.
yeah.
I like that. I guess I mean, you know what? I would not like to be Kamavinga at that moment because you know Ancelotti was furious with him, and that's why he wasn't
Mm,
aggressive this game. I mean, imagine
yeah.
Ancelotti just screaming at you. You're a newcomer at Real Madrid, just 18 years old, and the main man is just going at you. But
Yeah.
it worked, I guess. He wasn't aggressive, but he wasn't all that great, to be honest.
No, he was passive, I felt
Yeah,
like. He wasn't bad. He wasn't great, but
yeah, he made a lot
he
of
just
mistakes, misplaced a lot of passes, I think.
yeah,
And he was
yeah.
passive. Yeah, like that midfield
Actually,
was just
I felt like he
cross.
was passive, maybe, but the point was that the ability that because how long, like for how long have we been watching Mario, and how many times have Cross taken up the positions he took up during the match? Like as Sunil was pointing, out, like yeah, I think he had another chance to get another goal. Actually, I think he was saved something like
Yeah.
this. But like for I think the presence of Kamavinga actually, okay, Kamavinga wasn't like I don't know, like it wasn't like a world class performance or something, but like he it brought stability to allow Cross to actually go into the 18 and get those chances. I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah. No, there's no doubt about Camavinga's
I
just
can agree
work
with
rate
that.
and ability, but
If
yeah.
that's like Farouk, that's the thing, man. Like, obviously we shouldn't be giving him his flowers. He's just 18 and whatnot.
hmm
But when we
Yeah,
say it's a passive performance, passive doesn't exactly mean bad or negative.
yeah,
It's not a hindrance in any way. If he doesn't like, if he's not at least passive, it's him being passive and blocking off potential passing lanes is how Cruz gets forward.
yeah.
You know what I mean, right? So we expect more. Like things are promising for Kamamiga. I'll just stop it at that. It's promising. I'll say that.
Yeah, speaking of man, guys, actually, I was watching the game. I think the game the goal was equalized in after the 70th minute, if I'm not mistaken, if I recall well. Well, like for like one
Yeah,
hour, we were playing the game, and like literally, we could just cover our eyes and keep playing the game without actually anything happening, and all of a sudden, bam, it's a goal.
bro, it's Falcao, and we discussed it in depth
Bro,
towards the end of our last.
like last time you said it, and now now I know it's like number three just pisses me off. Just number three on a striker just rubs me the wrong way, man. Like when he scored,
It's like FIFA. I
yeah,
know.
like when he scored, I wasn't angry at the goal, but when he turned around and I saw the number three, I was like, no, stop.
That's just so wrong, right?
Yeah,
That's so
that
wrong.
is just that I hate that. I hate it.
Unnecessary evil. Number three.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just
But
that
But
just
it was
pains
so
me,
unfortunate
man.
for him actually.
Um,
what did you guys think of the aerial? Like, I don't know, man. How can people just let him walk in there and have a
yeah,
free header on goal?
I saw like I said, what was that marking from Alaba? And I noticed that the replay, like he glances over at someone. There was someone next to him. I don't know if it was Casemiro or Militao. There was someone next to him, and he's like points at points at Falcao,
Mm.
and so I'm assuming he told the whoever was next to him to cover Falcao, and then he just
Yeah.
moves to the right, and he was the closest person to Falcao. Why did he do that? Like I don't understand. Like he tells someone, like there was no one else near. Um,
Mm.
like any Rayo attackers. There was nobody else
Yeah.
near Falcao, it was just Falcao.
Mm.
And
Mm.
Alaba just puts somebody else on Falcao when he's on Falcao, and he just goes like closer to Courtois and just covers
Mm.
just an empty plot of land. Like, what are you
Mm.
doing?
I
Just
think it was Mendy. I think it was
yeah, maybe
Mendy. Mendy
Mendy.
was nowhere in the picture too,
Yeah, but
right?
like I
Like
feel like that
mm,
should have been like
the thing is,
he should have been marking Falcao, not anybody else, because he was the
the
closest
thing
one.
is, bro, you just said right, like you just asked why he's doing that. It's because of his obvious aerial weakness, man. Like we always knew Alaba was great at left back. He was one of the best left back in the world for years. But always the transition from left back to center back is not an easy task.
Yeah,
And
true, but I mean, there was no time for somebody to mark Falcao instead of Alaba, and I mean
that's his
that
head
goal
instinct,
proved it.
the natural instinct. He
Yeah,
knows,
well,
like he has that inner fear that I wouldn't be able to outjump him. Probably if a good
this
ball comes
this
in.
was like the uh first time Falcao scored on Santiago Bernabeu,
Not
and
the first time. I don't think or in La Liga, you mean?
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was the first
I'm
time
not
in
actually
La
sure.
Liga he scored in on Santiago Bernabeu, and also this was Casemiro's 200th La Liga game, I think.
Yeah, it was either this one or the one before. But good that you brought up Casemiro, bro. What do you guys think about his performances, man? Like, I expect so much from Case. Um, he has been blowing hot and cold
Yeah, exactly,
as of late.
exactly, exactly. Like he's not like at the, I don't know, like there was this, how can I say, there's this aura with Casemiro, like he could, like, I think we talked about it in the previous episodes also, like we, like, he had the ability, to put in tackles and not get carded and all these things, but like these days I feel like that's no longer there. Actually, I don't know, I feel like that's one of the reasons actually these days we concede a lot of chances, like because the way,
Mm.
like like
He
I just feel
comes
like
too
the,
early. You think?
yeah, I feel like just the DM position actually just right in front of the 5 and 6. It's so, I feel like it's
Bro,
not well
can
marshaled
can
like
you
before.
can you see it on the screen? Nah, you can't. Bro, this
I
this
can
makes
a
me
bit.
this makes me angry. Like the oops, wait, sorry. Turned on the intros now.
I see that.
This
I see
this
that.
little blue dot here is
Yeah,
Falcao,
Yeah.
and there's
yeah,
like
Mm.
one, two, three, four, five, six, seven more.
really marking nothing.
Like there
Yeah,
was just one Rayo player there, and just
And
Alaba was marking him. Come on, man. Like he should do better.
bro, like I get why you're so vexed because like if it was some youth academy product or someone these guys don't know or haven't heard of before, like they don't know what his strengths are, weaknesses are. It's okay, like what do you expect? But it's Falcao. He's been doing this for years. They week in week out. Whenever he's not injured, he bags you goals.
Yeah,
You give
but
him a
this was
hard time,
just
he takes it.
a very, very, very simple mistake by Alaba, and that makes me angry.
Mm.
Like we should not be making mistakes like that, and that made the last 10 minutes is absolute hell. And if it wasn't for Tony Kroos,
Yeah. Oh
they
my
would
God.
have equalized. He's just, you know, looking at the replay of that, I saw that like when the ball started moving, like it wasn't even moving towards the goal. Kroos noticed what was happening and started running towards the goal line before the ball actually
Mm.
started moving towards it. So he was there to
Mm.
clear it. He saw it beforehand. That's why
Yeah,
I
it
love
wasn't going
Kroos.
directly in, but there was a player waiting there to just tap it home, you know,
yeah,
at the end.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
Actually, guys, I was thinking about something. Actually, after I saw the goal, like actually, what Nando said also, I actually didn't think about it that way. I just felt like there was lack of communication in the defense. I was just
Mm.
thinking maybe it's because like it's a new like said it's a new back line. I don't know because you know this season we've just had like Mendy at fullback, Vasquez at fullback, Carvalho at fullback, for Valverde at
Mm.
fullback, Alaba at fullback, Nacho at CB, Nacho at fullback. You know, it's just been a mix and match all over, and I feel like this. I think maybe it might be the third game they're all playing together. Some third or fourth game, I'm not sure. So I'm just feeling
Yeah,
thinking maybe and considering the fact that Mendy is young, Militao also is young. It's the first time he's also like being a first full option, you know. So I'm thinking maybe it's just it will take a bit of time to build that relationship there, like that understanding, you know.
Yeah,
I
but
feel maybe this might be something
I
like there as well.
really don't think it was about that. Like, just I just searched the highlights and just watched that moment, and you look at Alaba, and he looks so out of place, so confused. He's like looking around, like of course you have to look around to know what's going on, but you can just tell it's not looking around to notice what's up. He's looking around, like thinking, what should I do? And then he can't decide correctly, and then we concede because of that.
we have been talking about this aerial problem since the very beginning, Nodo, if you remember, right? Like we have been always
Yeah.
banging.
Well,
Uh,
Alaba's Militao's good in aerial duels. His header
it's
accuracy is
better,
the uh thing that he needs to work on, but he can win headers and win
but
them
Militao is still not
quite.
up to that level where even he can like provide an underperforming Alaba with
Mm,
the confidence.
yeah,
Like he's
yeah,
not
that
there yet.
like he can do it for himself, but he can't cover for Alba. That's yeah, like and that's hard, especially after Ramos probably one of the best headers in the world, not
Mm,
not just in defenders, just in the world, one of the best headers, and Varane, who was also a really really good player in the air.
mm,
He rarely made mistakes in the air. I feel like. Plus, he's, people say some. I've heard like I've read some people say that Militao's taking over as for Ramos and this and that. I feel like Militao's more of a Varane than Ramos. Not that
yeah.
anybody's replacing those two, but you know what I mean. Because
Mm.
Militao's more like a tall, skinny guy who has like
Rapid,
really
who has pace, who can
yeah,
catch up
he's
to quick players
explosive
like
and really
that.
fast. Now I don't think he's as fast as Varane is, but to be honest, Varane's probably one of the m- like Varane is one of the fastest defenders I've ever
To
seen.
ever
To
play the
Yeah.
game.
to be
Yeah,
honest, like
because
for a center back, I have not seen any center backs faster than Varane.
yeah.
Fullbacks, yeah, of course, but uh, I've not seen in like a faster center back than Varane is. Like Varane has speed some attackers would envy.
Yeah.
That's why I always
I
prefer
get your
loved Varane.
point. I get your point. This defense has to grow and they have to mature if we are to reach somewhere this season because
Yeah.
another season trophyless, man, heads will roll. Be it the managers, be it the players, so it's high time. We got to be mature, especially post the international break. The fixtures are crazy.
Okay. What do you think? Who'll get injured during the internationals? There's always somebody getting injured on the internationals.
Carvajal, Carvajal, man, I was
No,
just
it's
thinking to myself, go on.
well, is Carvalho in the Spain squad?
Yep.
Yeah, he is. He
Yeah.
is. He's called up.
People were like, "Oh, Luis Enrique came to his mind that he's actually bringing Madrid players now," but no, he's bringing Carvajal to injure him.
Yeah,
I mean, if let's just hope Carvajal doesn't play. Like, I just hope Carvajal will not start because, oh man, like if he gets injured during like Real
it's
Madrid's game or training, that's gonna be sad. But if he gets injured during Spain's games for playing for
you
Luis
know
Enrique, that's gonna make me like just pissed.
You also notice, yeah, like the thing with Carvalhal's injuries, they're not short term in any way.
Yeah,
They're either like 2 months or 6 months.
yeah.
It's mad. So
Or
if he
two
gets
months,
injured
and when he
now,
gets back, instantly 6 months.
there you go. See, I was watching the Rayo game and the Shakhtar. No, was it Shakhtar before? Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
Hmm.
when we have Carvajal, like there is another dimension to us. Like there is
Yeah,
this like a very potent thread down our right. Like even if our right wingers, whoever it might be, Rodrigo for me does a brilliant job. He does what he can to his best at the moment. But when we are missing even him, Carvajal is the only outlet. He puts in good crosses. He overlaps. He cuts inside. He does everything you ask of a world class right back. So we
yeah. He has
desperately need him to
amazing
be big
work rate. He's great at defense, great at offense.
up and down the pitch
Guys,
always.
To be honest,
guys, I'm more scared of Benzema because I this morning I saw like Pogba is out for like 8 to 10 weeks and I'm like, holy shit. Like, I don't
yeah,
know,
but
man. I don't know what those guys are doing at the French
yeah,
national
but
team, but I just
Big Dick
feel
is
like, oh,
resilient. He doesn't get injured for long.
that's the problem, man. Like, these Brazilian guys, like when they
Not
get injured once and
Mm.
then like they go for 3 months and
For
shit like that.
for Vinicius,
not
I'm not scared. He just doesn't get injured.
Vinicius is not gonna play. That's just it. Like Vinicius is gonna play like the last 15 minutes, last 20 minutes. So
That's
it's no big
good.
deal,
He's
I guess.
gonna get some rest, you know. But
Yeah, exactly. But like
the
I just feel like
the
for
form
Benz, like
he's
he's
in,
gonna
I mean,
start and
Tita has
finish
to be
all
an
the games.
absolute imbecile.
what can Vinicius do? He has the god Richarlison in front of him. Like what can he do, bro?
Yeah.
What can he
Like,
do?
yeah, that's what usually happens. But Tita has to
Mm.
be an absolute imbecile, a cretin and an idiot, not to start Vinicius. And
I
I
support
hope he's
Brazil, and
gonna
TT
be
is a
just
good guy.
that because Vinicius needs some rest. Vinicius does not get tired. Excuse me, does not get injured. Like
Yeah,
he and
touch
Courtois
wood,
were
eh?
the
Touch wood, touch wood. That's what jinx it.
he and Courtois were the only people not to get
Mm.
injured last season. Like,
Yeah,
was there anybody else? I think everyone was injured at least once, except for those two.
pretty much, pretty much.
So
Maybe
you know,
Courtois. Courtois is a good keeper.
but that's like I don't want him to play because like injury worries me less with him than him getting just overworked and tired. Because you could have seen him getting really tired at the end of the games, more so than
Yeah,
usual. Because Vinicius is kind of a player that doesn't get tired, just runs for 90 minutes and then he can still do 90 more. But the last few games he's been getting tired after like 60, 70 minutes.
like it doesn't help, man. It's our team is like a car with a broken axle. It's like completely lopsided to the left. He's carrying all the thread, all the like any kind of any kind of impetus we have going forward is through the left side. So he has to like carry us throughout
Yeah.
games. No surprise he's being tired.
Um. The so let's talk about chronological order. Barcelona, then Atletico. Barcelona. So drew 3-3, as you know, and I am I'm in a restaurant at the moment. Barcelona were playing. I was at a restaurant
Mm,
with five of my friends. So four of us are Madrid fans, two
mm-hmm.
Barcelona fans. Although
Yeah,
they're they're not like usual Kool-Aid types. They're like, okay, Real Madrid is much better at this moment. They do agree, and it's kind of hard not to agree, you know. But some people are just built that way. And so I just take out Flash Score and check Barcelona. Oh, I'm like, oh, Barcelona's playing. Look, they're not gonna win this time either. And as soon as I say it, Ansu Fati scores on the fifth minute. I'm like, shit. All right, guys, put down the phone and on 36th minute they take out the phone and they're like, "Ha, we're winning 3-0." And then I at the end I take out my phone, 96 minute, 3-3, and I start laughing, just hysterical, because what was that? How do you blow a 3-0 lead
I know. It's an
against
obvious mess.
Celta?
Like it's been always the case. Celta away is not an easy place to go to.
Yeah, no,
I would say
for sure.
Diego Aspas is a one-man army that shouldn't be messed with. Like he'll bag that one goal, one chance you give him, he'll put that away. But I want to give flowers to Ansu Fati. I'm a huge fan of him. He is brilliant. You saw the first goal, the way he took it, that was sensational. Like props to him. Busquets had a great goal as well. I hate him, but the goal was really
Yeah.
good inside the
About
box.
Sergio B actually, he was the reason why the third goal came. He was robbed in right in the front of the 18, right on the tee
Okay, no,
in the
I know.
95th minute. Like it really like because the point is like I never actually liked Sergio B like because I felt I don't know he was just that kind of player like he just I don't know I just didn't like him as a Madrid fan but like I always
Mm,
respected him. But the point is like really like I don't know what he has to do. Okay, like because maybe he's a legend, but like these past 2 3 years, like
mm.
almost always when like there are these like shitty Barcelona performances, you can always pinpoint one Sergio B mistake. Always there's
Yeah,
just
Busquets
had one
always.
like wrong pass or he was sleeping in possession. He was like, how can you're like leading 3-2 away? As you said, like Celta is a very difficult place to go in the 95th minute. You're sleeping on the front of the tee of your 18 like really, for fuck's sake, man. I don't know. Really, really, it's and like I don't know. Also, like
Xavi
you have
summoned
to,
him to manage his friends, from 10
like
years ago.
I don't know,
Uh,
man. Before we get to Xavi, also like also like Mark Andrew Ter Stegen, for God's sake, really, like that I don't know how to put it. Like there this okay, like for example, you can say like with Ike Casillas as well. Like he was so good. Then like at the end of the time at Madrid, like he became so shit, and like we're always just trying to like okay, he was good, he was good. He was living on past glories. I feel it's
Yeah.
the same with Ter Stegen now. Also, like Ter Stegen also now this season has a mistake in almost every game. Okay, like he can still pull off the wonderful saves. Yeah, he's still a very good goalkeeper, but like he just has
Mm,
those mistakes with him. Like even like I think the second goal, or yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the second goal literally went through him. I'm not sure if
mm.
it's either the second or the
I
first.
don't know, man. I think Ter Stegen is just as good as he used to be, but just team around him is just so bad, so bad. I mean, what do you do as a
Nah,
goalkeeper?
man.
Like,
No,
uh,
man. There are
you,
some things you need to save, man. There
you
are
know,
some things you have to save as a superstar goalkeeper because I feel like it's the same with Allison. Like Allison has been so good, and like this season he's been making a lot of shitty mistakes and conceding sloppy goals. And like where people are just know like his defense is bad and stuff. No, like when you analyze actually his goalkeeping itself, there are shots that you need to stop. Like
yeah,
this is
but
your basic job as a
when
goalkeeper.
Courtois came in, he was awful. I was like, I was
I
just
was
so
all for
disappointed
him.
with the club that we bought him. And when I heard that we sold Navas and kept Courtois, I was just furious. And
You
we
remember what he
just
said? He said to the press, "You know who is number one now." He was an asshole in the beginning, man. Like
yeah.
I hope, like
So,
I'm glad he turned it
So
around.
so yeah, it's like the thing is like we figured that it was more circumstantial. Like he was getting
Mm,
used to the defense, he was getting used to the new club, new situation, this and that. That I think that's the same thing is happening with Ter Stegen. I think he's
mm,
still the same quality, but just team around him is just uh, from the defense he used to have. Now he's just Eric Garcia, Mingueza, uh,
They
Serginho
didn't play.
Dest.
Garcia
Like,
was
Guys,
like
what
nah,
I'm trying to
I'm
point here
saying
now
like in
is that what
general.
I'm trying to point here is that like at Barcelona, the best two players for the past 3 4 seasons has always been Messi and Ter Stegen.
Yeah,
It's not like all of a sudden like the defense became shit overnight. Like it's been so always like you always met like an impenetrable wall. Like you were just shooting your shots and like Ter Stegen was always bringing them out. He was always bringing them
But
out.
let me tell
He
you
almost
something,
could not
Farooq. Let
score.
me let me just add on to your point. Like you make very valid point for why Ter Stegen should take the Stones pelted at him at the moment. But back in their heyday, like the prime 2015 Barca, like post Guardiola, of course. We used to have debates with our friends like Navas or Ter Stegen and blah blah blah. And obviously, I knew Ter Stegen was the far superior, more skilled GK who could do multiple things, and Navas was much more old school, cat-like reflexes, very short. But to me, I always knew I felt more safer in the hands of Navas than I would feel safe in the hands of Ter Stegen. Because I always knew German keepers and their orthodox style of keeping always, like make you feel nervous. The same way,
Yeah,
because I support Arsenal and I've watched Leno for years, and whenever he gets the ball and tries to distribute it, I'm scared for my life, man. Like it's the same with Ter Stegen. He has a mistake in him. He always did have a mistake in him, but when his team was up there doing the bits, people would not notice it as much. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's
Like
totally
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
if
that's
I
also very
if
valid.
I
Like,
were a Bayern supporter, man, and having Neuer as a goalkeeper, that would just
Mm,
knock off a few years of my life. Like, of course, Neuer's like one of the best goalkeepers of the century, if you
mm,
know. But just whenever I watch him and he just runs out like half the field, like
mm.
it makes my head scratch. Of course, he knows better than me, but yeah, I've
Yeah.
also watching him. I've also seen a lot of mistakes. You know, it's
Mm,
kind of a
mm.
his like running out the goal is his thing,
Yeah,
but it's kind of a hit or miss.
but
yeah.
actually, the point actually I'm
Literally,
trying. I don't know why. I just feel like with, as you said, like with Ter Stegen or with Leno, like okay, obviously, like Ter Stegen is like way, way, way better than Leno. I just feel like like there are basic things like
Mm,
you don't you see Manuel Neuer doing what like having miscues, wrong passes, missing the ball.
mm,
These are things like okay, as you said,
mm,
rushing off his line, and because of that, by default, like he gets beaten easily. But like as I was saying, like in the first goal for the Celta game, like a shot was to Ter
mm.
Stegen, and like the ball literally went through his arm like this,
Not a
and then like
full sleep, not a full sleep. Yeah.
it went to the I think then it went to
yep.
what's it called? It went to Aspas, and then he like put into an empty post. You get my point? Like so, like these are things like okay, as a goalkeeper, like your technical ability can be called into question in the sense like you're playing out from the back and stuff like this, but like not the
Yeah.
basic things. Like as a goalkeeper, your job is first and foremost save the ball,
Mm,
keep the ball away from the net.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
my
yeah,
point, right? So I feel like if you cannot, like, if you're, and I'm saying like the only reason why I'm pointing this out is like Ter Stegen has been so good, like as I point like Sergio B, Ter Stegen, these are players who have been so good, like crazy good, and like now you just start to see like these mistakes are creeping in, and I don't know, man. Maybe something again is that the coaches also maybe don't give
Ter
inspiration and shit
Stegen,
like this.
Ter Stegen and Busquets not are no longer the same level of quality and consistency. Ter Stegen is far above. Sergio Busquets is the guy who thought his mental fortitude can help him get through games, whereas clearly he has lost his legs, man. Like once you know that physically you can't move around as much as what your brain tells you to, you just can't do it. You won't cut it at the
yeah.
highest
But
level.
talk about all of this. I think
Mm,
it's looking like Barcelona's problems are all done by Prince of Persia arriving. So Xavi came and
Grass cutting,
he says
Xavi.
he's already inserting his philosophy to the Barcelona team, and apparently Barcelona didn't know this. Looks like, but he says uh, the only way to win is to play well. That's what he said in a presser. Looks like he didn't. Barcelona didn't know it, but now they know it, and I think they're gonna be dangerous now. They know they have to play well, apparently. So now they're gonna be just taking over the world, winning
By
the
the way,
UCL.
like he does know that Ansu Fati is injured, right? Like the only player who can actually do shit there. Okay, maybe Memphis, I don't know. Ansu Fati got injured actually in the game. Like he pulled an hamstring
Uh,
in the second
Yeah,
half.
you can off.
my
I
friend,
feel
who's
for
a
him.
Barcelona fan, said like everyone's injured. How is this fair? And I'm like, where were you last season? When we had everyone from us was injured as well. But
I
Yeah,
don't know how he
actually,
made it to the semis with all
I,
that injuries, man.
Yeah,
Credit to Zidane.
I to be honest, I think Barcelona's injury situation is worse than ours was last season, because like
Yeah.
basically at least like we had like 2 or 3 starters out at the same time. They have all 11, like they have 10 starters out at the same time. The like I feel bad for Barcelona. Like they're in a financial
Mm.
crisis. They have a terrible injury situation. They likely won't qualify the UCL, which is gonna take another toll on their
Um,
funds. Uh, they
I think
they
they
brought
still
in
can.
Xavi. Yeah, they can, but we'll see.
Actually,
They brought in
after
Xavi.
Xavi was appointed, I actually read a news that says like Barcelona are gonna go for Cedric Bakambu in January.
Who's that?
You guys remember
Eh,
like the Villarreal striker? Like there was this
The
like
FIFA FBC player, bro. No, you don't know Cedric Bakambu.
I
He
think
is from Congo.
he's in China now, right? I think he's in Guzangao or something like a club. I can't
Yeah,
remember which
Chinese
club
league.
it is,
90
but
pace, 80, 85 shot, always. Really quick, tall.
I was like, okay, now so this is what Bartomeu has in like. Oh, sorry, what was the name of the person? This is what Laporta has in mind. Like, okay, Bartomeu went from bringing what's he called Martin Braithwaite
Exactly.
down. Laporta thinks
Yeah.
Bakambu is a solution. This
You
guy's
think
like
that's the
crazy,
most
man.
insane thing you have read? Read, right, bro? Farouk,
Yeah.
that they look good. They going after Cedric Bakambu, but I read today that Xavi actually wants one of his midfielders from Qatar to join him in January. Asa and Arabi. I don't
No,
know.
come on.
Let's
Come
see.
on,
Let's
dude.
see.
Like Chow, I don't know. Like Chow has been coming for like 2 years now, and
Yeah.
people think that he's gonna be the solution to uh people think he's gonna be the solution to Barcelona, but I don't think so. To be honest, I think like people have this obsession that past uh the past players
Mm,
have
mm,
to be the great coaches, but like we've only seen Guardiola and Zidane as like at least major footballers. Like I guess Klopp played and this coach played, that coach played, but no one has been as big of a footballer than Zidane and Guardiola, and even then, like Guardiola for Barca was not as big as Zidane was for like everything, but still, let's say Guardiola's a major footballer at the time.
Guardiola was big for Barcelona, bro.
Yeah.
Barca captain. Barca captain, man.
So
Yeah.
so let's say Guardiola, one of the best coaches, Zidane, one of the best coaches, but then
Mhm.
look, Maradona was absolutely atrocious as a coach.
Mm.
Ole's been doing pretty shit.
Man, don't say that, man.
Let's
Really, like you don't like. Okay, that's not the subject, but like Ole is doing what Ole is being paid to do. So
Yeah,
the
but like
problem is not
that's
on Ole; it's on them.
yeah, but he's not a
So
great
that's just
coach.
it.
That's the point.
Actually,
Then
speaking of this, actually, this is what I actually think is a sorry for interrupting you. I actually feel like what's happening now at Barca is it's similar to what happened with United after like
after,
LVG and Mourinho. Okay, so I feel like what they want is like a cultural reset. Someone who knows the club, not necessarily a coach, like not necessarily someone who can coach, but rather someone who can
Mm.
manage. You understand? Like for example, at United, you can see like whatever like people say about OGS or whatever they want to say, the truth is he brought United back to the level where people are excited about United. Okay, is he the
Yeah.
person to lead them to the next level and win the trophies? That's a different discussion.
Mm.
So I feel like this is
Mm.
what Barca are also looking for with Xavi. Like, okay, worst case scenario, even if he's not the coach, at least he can, manage and bring the fans and the players and unite them. At least let's get back
That's
to the
when it
yeah,
level of
gets tricky.
yeah, but look, so United is much better than Tottenham right now, right? Not right now in general.
sure.
But look, if I was a supporter of one of them, I would prefer to be a supporter of Spurs. You know why? Because Spurs don't have hope. It just crumbles instantly. While Ole
Yeah.
does this, what United does. They advance, they do well, they're doing step by step, going pretty well, only for it to
Mm.
crumble down at the end to
But
make you
but
like just lose everything.
Mm.
Whereas Spurs just lose it instantly, so you don't even hope.
Actually, I feel
Um,
like right now the Premier League it's more of like coaches than like players. Because like I feel like if I'm a sports fan, I'll be much more like excited because like I feel like Conte has shown that he has literally worked with the likes of Victor Moses, man, and he won a Premier League with the likes of Victor Moses in the team. So I feel like
yeah.
being a sports fan, I'll be more excited because like we have like really a coach who knows what he's doing. Unlike
The, the,
I
the,
don't
the thing with Xavi, Xavi
Uh,
can work if he can get his philosophy because he was a brilliant midfielder. Like I hate the guy. He was a total thief, but the way he bossed the midfield, like he should be able to get a tune out of all these players,
yeah,
like no matter how bad they look.
I think he's gonna fail. To be honest,
Like
I
he'll
don't
fail.
think
Do
he's
you know
gonna be
why?
good.
Not because of his he won't fail because of his coaching deficiencies per se. Like he wouldn't fail because he's tactically naive and whatnot. Like because he's young, like people will give him time. But the same thing happened with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at United, where a former legend walked into a family-like environment. Like, bro, last day, I read PK can skip training sessions because he can go to attend his business meetings in Dubai, in Qatar and whatnot. Like, bro, what about all the other players who watch a senior guy skip training for no reason? Do you know why they all loved Valverde? It's because they gave him a 40-minute training session and the rest of the day off. So if Xavi actually gives into that kind of atmosphere and be unprofessional, that's where his downfall is. Like if he asks his former friends, okay guys, like it was a pleasure to play with you, like win trophies with you. Now it's time to fuck off and like hire some fresh youngsters from outside Spain or inside Spain. Because let's be honest, man, like every player would want to play for Xavi. Like that's for sure going to be a factor in how Barca pull up players because they don't have the money.
yeah.
And to be frank, they don't have the pull like they used to, especially if they crash out of Champions League this year. So yeah, for me, Xavi can succeed if he is man enough to go against the ways Barca has been run as of recent.
Actually, you know what's funny? Actually, I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, it depends on how Barcelona actually defines success. Because for me right now, I'm looking at what I'm thinking is that okay, Barca qualifying for the Champions League next season should be a success to them.
Yeah,
Hmm. Copa
You
del
understand?
Rey.
Like,
Copa
and the
del Rey.
point
They
is
could.
this:
Hmm.
the point is this: qualifying for Champions League next season should be a success. The season after
Hmm.
it, still also qualifying for Champions League should be a success. But now the point becomes when you're a Barcelona fan, and like let's say
Hmm.
like people our age, obviously, like we, for example, I myself started watching football fully in 2005 2006 season. So in six,
Hmm.
Barcelona won the Champions League. In nine, they won the Champions League. I think 11, 15, they had two trebles within this period. Like so, for someone of my age, like if I'm a Barcelona fan, I'm like used to the success so much. Then now I'm seeing myself like we're competing for the top four. Like, what the fuck is this? You get the point? But then like this is realistic because the point is like to be honest, like really to be honest, like at the beginning of the podcast, like Nando was saying like unless Barca makes up some ground or something like that, I can't recall what he said exactly, but he was just kind of saying like if Barca gets on some form, like they can catch us on shit like that. I don't feel like Barca can catch us, really. I just feel like unless if we shoot ourselves in the foot, and then that's the only way Barca can catch us. If
no,
Barca goes on a winning streak of 20 games, I still feel
no,
still they can
I
catch
didn't
us.
say that they would catch us. I said they may go into form to get to top four. That's their maximum.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So
They're
what I'm
not
just trying
catching
to
us.
point is that really like to be honest, like because you sit and you look like okay, the point is Barca is gonna play Martin Braithwaite or Luke De Jong for fuck's sake. Like who even plays Luke De Jong? Like I don't know. You understand? And then you start to look like
Coleman.
there are teams like
Coleman.
Sevilla, man. There are teams like Sociedad. You're trying to look at these teams, Villarreal. And you're thinking like how can Barca even get past these teams? Right now. Okay, Barca has Frankie De Jong, who is a very good player. You have like Ansu Fati and half a decent player in Memphis. And then I don't
Frankie
know,
De Jong is
Alba is still
bootleg
there,
Valverde.
Trezeguet is still there. I don't know. So so you just see like they're like small pieces there that okay maybe if you join together you can have a core to build a team, but you need to build a team. And this is the main thing actually. Zidane and Guardiola, these are people who succeeded, right? And to okay, we can also put Antonio Conte there because he's also a past footballer as
I
well.
guess
But all
Ancelotti as
these three
well.
coaches,
That's a lot
yeah,
of
but Ancelotti is more older. Like Ancelotti is very old actually. So
Yeah.
let's just say like the more younger coaches, okay? So like Conte went to Juve and he had like the midfield of Pogba, Marquinhos, Vidal, and more importantly, Andre Pio waiting for him. He had the spinal
mm,
cord of the BBC, like Bonucci, Broxali, and Chiellini. He had
mm,
Buffon. You understand? He had like a core in the team. Guardiola
mm,
came, Iniesta, Xavi were already there. Messi was there. This is already a Messi that already scored a hat trick at the Santiago. Let's not forget. You understand? It's not like Messi was shit before Guardiola came or something like that. He promoted
yeah.
Pedro. He promoted Sergio B. You understand? He had a very good goalkeeper in Valdez. He had a very good defender in Carles Puyol. He had Abidal. He had Alvarez. You hear my point, right? And then Zidane comes to
Mm-hmm.
Madrid, and Zidane is inheriting a team who has just won the Champions League 1 year ago.
Yeah.
So like he's like these people came into teams that everything is already ready. You have all the ingredients on the table. You just need to know the recipe. You
Mm,
understand? So actually, it's the same thing. Like okay, let's go off topic again. It's the same thing I feel with Arsenal actually and Ateta. Ateta has the
mm,
recipe, but he doesn't have the ingredients. So what do you want the man to do?
mm. But
Yeah.
You
slowly he's
understand?
been doing it. Slowly it's getting
Yeah,
better.
that's
Slowly
the
it's
point.
getting
That's
better.
what I'm trying to say. Like, so it depends on what you quantify as success. Like, the Arsenal board saw that okay, Arsenal, like Arteta has the recipe. Okay, what can we do? Give him the money. Let him go to the market and buy subpar
Mm,
ingredients. By making
yeah.
subpar ingredients, he can give us a subpar soup, and then the next time, if we enjoy the soup, the next time we'll give him more money, and he can buy, you know, premium ingredients, and we can maybe get a premium meal or something like this. You get the point. So now it now
Yeah.
becomes like,
Yeah.
will Barcelona be able to also do the same process? Recognize the
Mm,
fact that we have some pieces, but not a team core. We don't have a core in the team.
mm,
We have some pieces, and because to be honest, the truth
yeah.
is this: like what I'm trying to point out is that really, like Pedri, Gavi, these guys are good. But the point is, there's a
Mm.
Champions League final today against a midfield of Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva,
No,
Ilkay
they don't
Gundogan,
stand.
Rodri. Like, what are you talking about?
Uh,
Even
Mm,
worst case scenario, you go to the Parisians, with Verratti, Gana Gueye, and Wijnaldum and Danilo and all that. Even then, the Pedris don't stand a chance. You go to Bayern Munich, they don't stand a chance. You
bro,
understand? So these
bro,
guys,
like I need to stop you right here because you've been saying so much. Because I know for a fact, because you weren't here on our first episode, right, Farouk? Nodo made a confession that he used to be a
yeah.
Barca fan. Him hearing all this would break his heart, bro. So I don't want Nodo
bro,
to
that
be
does
depressed.
not count, man.
Sorry, man. Sorry, man. My
That
apologies. I
that
needed
does
to do this,
not
man.
count. I wasn't I
Man,
didn't
Sven, you
even
should join me
watch
earlier, man. The
football
man
back
is
then.
literally cussing me, man. He was looking at me with one eye, like the man was literally cussing me, man. Holy shit. Sorry, man. My
Uh,
apologies.
so thanks to Hugo Duro, Atletico are
Yep.
right
Yeah.
now 4 points behind us. 92nd minute goal, followed with a 96th minute equalizer, and
Yeah.
that just makes me so happy because Atletico has been so lucky. So lucky. They scored 97th minute goal, 95th minute goal, another 97th
Mm,
minute goal. They've been just winning on like the last minute every single time. It's just
mm,
so
Yeah.
refreshing to see them lose points on the last minute. Like that's great. 4 points behind. 4 points is not big, but we can make it
yeah.
bigger. Uh,
Hmm.
and Atletico's uh,
Atletico's weird, man. You
Atletico's
never
not
know, man.
not that like there's not much like not as much to talk about Atletico that
Oh.
is on Barca because Barca is just full on drama for like past 2 seasons, and Atletico's been
We need, bro. We need to like start a petition on change.org for a all or nothing Barcelona, man. Like Amazon can make
yeah.
us make money, with an idea. Well,
So the Atletico is just been same for like past 10 years. So like
but it's in
they're
the
not
league.
changing.
Still
So
won the league, man.
yeah, they did
Mm.
win the league, but they have to do it sometimes. Poor
Yeah.
Atletico, we kind of let them win last like like we had to keep the competition. Anyways, Atletico is the only real rival here. Uh, with
We
Sevilla,
can't, bro. We
with
can't.
Sevilla, and
Sociedad as well. They are
nah,
not terrible.
nah,
Wait,
no way. Sociedad starts like this all every single time, and at the end of the
I know.
season, they're like 10, 20 points behind us. It happens every season. L'Oreal
Bro, the
never
thing is,
never keeps the consistency, especially now that Oyarzabal is out.
I know, but hear me out, hear me out. So I am this weird guy. I support three teams, okay, like Madrid being the first, and yeah, Arsenal and Milan. But like I have this weird thing where in the most interesting derbies, I pick a side. So when I was young, I used to play a lot with Bilbao, and I used to like idolize Aduriz. Like he was something else, like Aritz Aduriz. So
Yeah.
I have that slight lean towards Bilbao. So obviously, man, like I hate Sociedad performing. Like I don't want to have confidence in them, but they have a team. They have a proper team. Isak is not to be messed with. Um, Januzaj has been good of late. David Silva is a proper man, man. Like he can provide you the assists when you need it. Like they have a good team. Alex Romero is a brilliant keeper. Like yeah, they might peter out, but as of now, like at this very moment, we can't like roll them out.
Okay,
That's all.
which episode is this? Is episode 9, right? Or
Yeah,
yeah. So
episode
at
9.
the end
Yeah.
of the season, we come back to episode 9 when Sociedad will be like 50, at least 15 points behind us. You'll see that. You will see.
They'll be still. I'm pretty confident they'll be in and among the top five for sure.
Probably, yeah, but
Very confident.
at the like last 3 to 5 games, they will not be a competition.
No, no, I don't think. No,
Yeah.
no. You're right. You're right. So
With
Atleti,
like
Sevilla seems like the most dangerous, right?
yeah,
So far.
L'Oreal
Yeah.
is always a good team, but they're just
Mm-hmm.
really weird. They always start out brilliantly and they just
Mm-hmm.
crash out mid-season, like mid
Mm,
to late season.
can't argue with that. Yeah, that's
Anyways, I think that wraps up this episode. And next,
before we do one small thing I needed to mention. So we forgot to put that out when we were discussing. Benzema is now one goal away from equalizing Henry's record for all-time top French goal scorer for club matches. So Thierry Henry has 360 goals, and Benzema is on 359.
oh really? I thought he was
And
already past him.
no, no. To be fair, Henry has like 50 odd goals in MLS, so it doesn't count exactly. I don't want to compare them both because Henry was on another level, but yeah, big ups to Benzema, man. Like
No,
he's
I
been
will
doing a good.
compare them. I will say Benzema's better.
Nah,
Yep,
I
yep.
wouldn't say that.
Benzema. Zidane said it. Best French striker, best French forward in the history.
Well, bro, like Henry wasn't exactly a forward. I mean, striker. Like he was an
No,
inside
he was
forward.
a
Like coming off
forward
the
though,
screen.
and and Zidane said a forward, not a striker. I think. And
Actually,
If
if
Zidane said it,
Benzema had
I
won the
agree.
World Cup, maybe. If Benzema had won the World Cup, then maybe it would have been. I
But
don't
it's
know.
not
Yeah,
his fault.
bro.
I mean,
But
imagine
yeah,
if Benzema played instead of Giroud, it would have been even easier for France. It was already easy.
like I don't like I wouldn't put a World Cup to measure someone's
Yeah,
talent. Like yeah,
exactly.
his CV can be measured by titles, but bro, the stuff Henry did with the ball, Benzema can't dream. I'll tell you that. Like he used to do some mad stuff with like single-handedly taking on like a whole team. Like Benzema is really good. Like he's one of the absolute greats. Like he's my captain, man. So I wouldn't put him down. But Henry was on another level. But yeah, big ups to Benzema, man. Let's not compare legends. Let's hope he keeps this up and gets the Ballon d'Or next year. This year,
Hopefully.
Messi, I think, will take it as of now.
Uh,
Most
dude,
likely.
if
Zero goals,
Messi,
zero assists, 7 appearances, 007. You know, well,
um, dude, is by the way, Farouk,
Yeah.
uh, Eric Durm has the World Cup. You've heard of Eric Durm? I haven't.
I've heard the name, heard the name somewhere.
German, right? He's German. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember he's German.
he won the World Cup. I don't think he played a single minute.
Doesn't matter actually.
He
That's the other point I was trying to make. Like it's just like Osman Dembele won the World Cup, and then what? Osman Dembele, it's at best Asensio level. That's just it. I don't know. So it's I'm just trying to say like the point is like when you're trying to compare players, you understand like eventually you try to compare like what they have won and what they have achieved and stuff like that. Like during the previous
Mm.
episodes also we talked about like the original Ronaldo and like the reason why everyone like a lot of people actually think he's one of the best to ever play was because of his performance at the World Cup.
I mean,
So there was that
yeah,
as well.
World Cup
That's
you
what I was
can
just trying
measure.
to bring. Yeah.
You can measure World Cup for like Mbappe because Mbappe truly won the World Cup in 2018. He was probably
Mm.
like the main man for France up front.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh, like I guess Pele has won the World Cup like by winning the World Cup.
Only one man did it single-handedly. That's Maradona. Like if
Yeah.
you know.
Diego won.
Maradona,
Won. Yeah.
single-handedly, exactly.
Exactly with the
Well,
single
one
hand.
one hand he used one hand exactly. Anyways, that wraps up the episode. Next episode, we will be talking about the general situation of the season, what has happened, what will happen, what should happen. Maybe we'll have a guest star as well. We'll see. Uh, anyways, that wraps up, and I wish you all a great week. Um, that's it. Hala
Real
Madrid.
Madrid, boys.
A la Madrid.